Hey there, church family. If I were to ask you what's wrong with the world today, you would have tons of answers. You would just rip them right off the headlines of the news programs and the websites and everything that you see every day gives you an answer to that question because it's really easy for us to look around and see that the world's a mess. And we all have opinions about why it's a mess, why it is the way it is. But if I were to ask you what's right with the world, what's good, what's worth celebrating, you might have to pause a little longer. You're not going to find those in the headlines. You're not going to find those in the news articles that you see online because it's harder for us to think about and focus on the good. That's just kind of how we're built. It's human nature. But I think it's really important for us as followers of Jesus, especially, to celebrate what God is doing in the world, to recognize that God is at work all the time in the world around us, from India to China to America to your neighborhood to inside of your own home. There are always things that you can point to and recognize. That is the hand of God. That is what it looks like to live in a world where God is sovereign, where God is good, where the gospel is powerful. For the next month on Sunday mornings, we're going to be talking about this big question, what's right with the world? And we're going to be looking for ways to celebrate what God is doing in the world and to participate with God in the work of the kingdom. So I just want to encourage you, go ahead and start finding your stories now. Begin collecting stories of things that are happening around you or just in our nation or in the world on a global scale that point to a good God, a God who's in control, who always does what's right, who's trustworthy, and who has invited us to participate with him in the great work of the kingdom. So begin collecting your stories. I'm going to be asking for those stories every Sunday. I'm going to ask you to write a story down. I'm going to ask you to share those stories with us every Sunday morning in the month of November, because I think there's so much worth celebrating in the world around us. And we just have a hard time sifting through all of the negative talk to actually see what's going on. So I'm looking forward to hearing your stories of what's right with the world. And I'm looking forward to joining with you as we celebrate what God's doing and participate with him in the work of the kingdom. See you Sunday.